NFL draft prospect, edge rusher Kayvon Thibodeaux. So when you start with talking about Kayvon Thibodeaux, you got to go back to 2019, okay? When you go back to 2019, Thibodeaux was the number 1 recruit by ESPN, the number 6 recruit by Rivals, and the number 2 recruit by 24/7 Sports. So Thibodeau's obviously like a lot of number 1 recruits, number 2, whatever, by whatever service you prefer, is getting a lot of offers. So he's got offers from Bama, Florida State, and in Oregon, and chooses Oregon over, Bama, Florida State, all these other top programs. And, he's a guy that, this is kind of a side tangent, but he's a business guy. Started his own cryptocurrency, really like the brand of Oregon. So he goes to Oregon, and this is all he does as a freshman. I say that sarcastically. Coaches Pac-12 Freshman Defensive Player of the Year, AP Pac-12 All-Conference First Team, Pro Football Focus, All Pac-12 Second Team, broke the Oregon freshman sack record with 9 and led the team with 14 tackles for loss. Pac-12 title game, had 2.5 sacks. Big-time players step up in big-time games. That'll be the first of the few times I've said that about Thibodeaux. And then, it's one of those things. He not only just had a great freshman season, but he carried it into 2020. You saw in 2020 they only played 7 games, 3 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, but was very dominant last year in 2020. And it was something to watch. Again, big time players step up in big time games like Thibodeaux. In the Pac-12 championship game, he really just made life really hard on Caden Slovis. You watch, Slovis was flushed out of the pocket so many times in that game. It seemed like almost every play. Went up against the NFL tackle Elijah Vera Tucker, who is now playing for the New York Jets, was a first-round pick last year in 2021. But Thibodeaux, you watch Thibodeaux, he's so powerful, sets the edge so well. He doesn't, if you want to nitpick, he doesn't always win and get off of blocks as consistently, but he's going to continue to, establish those, pass rushing tools. And you see at a lot of times he is so quick off the ball. And, a lot of teams double teamed him and just did a lot of different things to try to slow the guy down. But bottom line, was dominant for 3 years at Oregon. Burst onto the scene as a freshman. A lot of guys that are top notch like Thibodeaux come in and you see it right away, and that's definitely what you could say about Thibodeaux in 2019, just really bursting onto the scene and having a monster year, 2019, and it had a lot of people saying that's going to be the number 1 pick in a couple years. But rewind to 2021, and after earlier in the year, after the UCLA game, a dominant performance by Thibodeaux in that game. I have a stat line here somewhere. So monster game against UCLA. Actually, I apologize. Do not have the exact stat line. I'm pretty sure it was 4.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. This is bad. Should have wrote this down. But anyways, everyone in America saw that was a Herb Street Fowler. This is the big game of the week, Saturday primetime football. 3:30 ABC kickoff, and Thibodeau's just all over the place making plays. Big-time players step up in big-time games. I guess the point I'm trying to make is I think we're really overthinking Thibodeaux, and a lot of guys that are really that good, you see it right away. So check that box. Thibodeaux comes in 2019, dominant player, dominant in the Pac-12 championship. So early success, dominant in the championship game. Is a guy that's, got the first overall pick buzz, not just a future first round draft pick buzz. So you check that box, and then you go to 2020. Is he going to have a sophomore slump? No, he doesn't. Has another, great season, very dominant. His, now in 2020 is drawing a lot more attention, and teams have to, change their game plans for him, start double teaming him, chipping him, whatever you want to do, running away from his side, and he still was very successful in 2020. Also a COVID year, a lot of distractions. The Pac-12, were they going to play? Ended up playing, and then they just played a total of 7 games. So Yeah, and then this year dealing with the ankle injury, obviously didn't play against Ohio State, and yeah, that was a game I was really excited. I think if Thibodeaux plays, I think he really would have made a statement game. Obviously, Oregon had a very good day there, went into Columbus and upset the top 5 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes on the road in the Horseshoe. But yeah, and there was I see. I don't. I'm just not buying into a lot of these narratives that he takes plays off. I did not see that when I watched the tape. He looks like a guy that his worst plays are stalemates, so which is a huge sign of a successful pass rusher. And all the thing where he skipped the drills at the combine, I didn't really understand that, because if you want to, the media wants to compare everything to Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson didn't technically do every drill. He opted out of the bench press, in which, is it a huge deal? No, but everyone's pushing the narrative, Hutchinson, did every drill, and look at Thibodeaux. He skipped the off-field workouts, but he did the 2 main things you wanted to see: the bench press and the 40. And those were both elite grades: 4.58 in the 40-yard dash in a 1.59 split, 27 reps in the bench press. Wants to do his full workout at the pro day, which is fine. Obviously scouts would like to see him do it at the combine, but what difference does it make? I guess if he does it at the Pro Bowl or the pro day, excuse me. But I guess it was one of those things he promised that he said he was going to do it, and he chose not to do it. So I guess that made scouts a little frustrated there. But I am defending Kayvon Thibodeaux with all the buzz and all this stuff. Is he a team guy? Is he about himself? His question marks of his effort. I'm a full defender of Kayvon Thibodeaux, and with all the stats I just backed up, stepping up in big time games, dominant all 3 years at Oregon, and then that's why I think he's the best player in this draft. I do like Aiden Hutchinson a lot, and I do like Hamilton. Derek Stingley's another guy, similar story to Kayvon Thibodeaux, which I'll probably get into in another video. But yeah, I think that Thibodeaux is the best player in this draft. You saw it early on, and you've seen that he just keeps check marking boxes, and I think he's going to be a phenomenal NFL player. And I would, me personally, I would take him number 1 if I'm Jacksonville. I know Jacksonville, rumor is now they're going to take Aiden Hutchinson. They were rumored to take a tackle, but I would take him in the first pick in this 2022 NFL draft. I think he's that good. I think he has a higher ceiling than Aiden Hutchinson, and I think he has the highest ceiling of any player in this draft, even more so than Kyle Hamilton and Derek Stingley and several of the tackles that are very talented. But that's why I just wanted to defend Kayvon Thibodeaux. I wanted to kind of sell my piece of why I think he's the best player in this draft, and I wanted to reiterate some of the stats I think a lot of people have forgotten about Kayvon Thibodeaux. And so